It's not quite 4 p.m. yet, but hello everybody. Hello. Hello. It's me once again, your favorite Friday afternoon, Friday night, Friday evening wannabe Formula One streamer. Simon Core here for Entertainment Core, playing a bit of Grand Prix World. It's the 1998 Fantasy Formula One season. Let me know in the chat if everything's alright, if it works, if I sound alright, if everything looks okay, if everything looks pretty and nice and purplish. Because today's gonna be the stream I've been looking for throughout the week, because today is our 1998 fantasy season. Also, I'll put the latency down just a bit, so I should be able to react a bit more quickly to the stream, or to the chat to be precise. Let me just check again. Yeah, it should be on low latency. Again, if there are any questions in the chat, just let me know. I'm ready to answer them for you, hopefully. Hopefully I'm competent enough to answer them for you. Hello, Razur. Hi, all works. That's good. That's good to know. That's great to know, because today, I think, is going to be an even better stream than last week. And last week was quite hilarious, to be honest, because today we have some housekeeping to get through first, because as I've described in the title, this is not the real-life 1998 season, right? This is the fictional 1998 season, as you're about to see, because this is the lineup for the fake 1998 season. And no, I'm not going to do the Aiden Millward now, because as you can see, our grid is quite different. Just so you know, Grand Prix World, the F1 management simulation that we're using for this little stream project, doesn't like to simulate contracts properly, which means that every time you start a new game, the contracts only run for the season you're currently playing. So if I start playing Grand Prix World in the 1997 season, every single contract in the game ends at the end of the 1997 season. Now, of course, once you sign new contracts, you can make them longer, like 2, 3, 4, 5-year contracts, but the base game says every contract at the beginning of the game ends after the first season, which on one hand you could argue isn't really realistic and doesn't really, replicate real Formula One and how contracts work in Formula One, even after big regulation changes and everything, but it's quite hilarious. So I did an attempt to change it, and this is the result. We are managing Arrows, the TWR squad, to be precise, the team that basically Tom Walkinshaw owned from, I think, 1996 to 2002, until it folded, sadly. We're gonna use Works for the engines for the 1998 season in this game, since we started in 1997 and signed them as a Works partner. Our drivers are gonna be Ralf Schumacher and Pedro Diniz, and we're gonna run on Bridgestone rubber. Now, this is where it gets spicy, right? Because up until now, right, it's just your casual, like, hey, I'm an independent team owner, I'm trying to get, a few engine deals and tire deals done and all that good jazz. All right, now it gets spicy. McLaren is going to use Works Ferrari engines for 1998. They are the Works Ferrari squad with Goodyear tires, even though they use Bridgestone tires in real 1998, and they're gonna have Jean Alesi and Rubens Barrichello, of all people, who ironically enough both used to drive for the Scuderia Ferrari in their real-life careers. Jean Alesi drove before, and Rubens Barrichello drove after 1998 for Ferrari. That was grammatically incorrect, but still, you get my point. At the same time, our buddies at Ferrari use a Ford engine, just like us, but only in a partnership deal, which means, as far as I'm aware, they don't really get money for that deal. So basically, neither Ford nor Ferrari really benefit off of this partnership financially, but Ferrari is somewhat involved in the development of the 1998 Ford V10 engine. They're also going to run Goodyear tires, as in real life. And Jacques Villeneuve, of all people, is going to drive for them instead of Michael Schumacher next to Eddie Irvine. Just to repeat this one more time, the Ferrari Formula 1 team is going to use Ford engines for our 1998 season. Awesome. Speaking of awesome, Williams is also going to use Ford engines for 1998, and they're just customers, so they essentially can't really influence the development of the engine, and they also have to pay for the engine because, hooray, I suppose. And they're also going to run Goodyear tires, and their drivers are going to be Damon Hill, as in 1995 and 1996, when he won the championship, in 1996, as well as Gerhard Berger, who at the end of the 1998 season is gonna retire. At least, in-game. In real life, he retired after the 1997 season. Jordan, of all teams, are gonna run Works Mercedes engines, they're gonna run Goodyear tires, and they're gonna have David Coulthard and Roberto Fontana, of all people, in their car. Meanwhile, Benetton is also gonna have work support from Mercedes, which wasn't a thing in the 1990s. They're gonna have Goodyear tires, and they're gonna have Mika Hakkinen and Ukyo Katayama, of all people, as drivers. Just let that sink in for a moment, right? Mika Hakkinen and Ukyo Katayama. Just let that sink in for just another second, alright. Stewart are going to use Peugeot engines with a partner deal for 1998, Goodyear tires. Trulli and Panis, who ironically enough were the real-life driver pairing for the original Peugeot team for 1998, that being Prost, who use Mugen Honda engines for 1998 as they did in 1997. They're going to run Bridgestone tires as they did in both 97 and 98, and they're going to have a very interesting lineup with Giancarlo Fisichella and Nick Heidfeld. And last but not least, Minardi with Peugeot Works engines, Bridgestone tires, Johnny Herbert, and somebody van der Ende, whose first name I forgot. And you might be wondering, Simon, where are Tyrrell and Sauber? Let me tell you, I couldn't be bothered to put them on the table because I was just too lazy to do it. Like, that's not even a joke. That's it. I was too lazy to, restructure this, team table thingy to have Sauber and Tyrrell on it, so you only see 9 teams here. I mean, who cares about Tyrrell? I'm sorry. Even though the Tyrrell of 1998, ironically enough, is on the thumbnail, but nonetheless, this is the grid for 1998. But you might be asking, wait, Simon, where are Michael Schumacher and Heinz-Harald Frentzen? Weren't they on the real-life grid for 1998? And you'd be correct in assuming that, but Heinz-Harald Frentzen has been put into a test driver role by either Benetton or Williams, I think. Meanwhile, Michael Schumacher was so dominant in 1997 that he just went, fuck it, I'll go to Champ Car. I'll go do some kart racing in 1998, everybody. See ya. So Michael Schumacher, in universe, is going to run a kart season in 1998. Meanwhile, Heinz-Harald Frentzen is going to do some testing, because storytelling is cool and everything. Yeah, if we want to explain it outside of our universe, for some reason, no team decided to sign Michael Schumacher for 1998, even though he's the reigning world champion. Maybe he was too expensive, I don't know, because again, this is all based on a mod by someone called Meanie. It's a 1997 remastered mod, and we originally started in 1997, so who knows why this is a thing. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's show you the custom livery for Arrows in 1998, because we're being sponsored by The Bull. That's right, we're being sponsored by companies such as Red Bull, which is a company I personally do not like and never want to be associated with in my entire life, which is why they're not in the thumbnail, but still they sponsor Arrows in 1998, at least in the fantasy world. Also, we're being sponsored by both the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64, i.e. Silicon Graphics. Also, we have the Works Ford Power, the V10 to be precise. We have Bridgestone tires and Pennzoil fuel, because reasons, I suppose. Yeah, just have a quick look at our custom 1998 livery that I modded into the game, i.e. I randomly threw together in Photoshop last week. I mean, it kind of looks like the 1998 Arrows, the real-life one. Also, fun fact, Ferrari's being sponsored by West this year, i.e. they're gonna look like the Zaxby's from the late 80s. The livery's good, looks nice, thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's basically just a black Red Bull car from, like, modern times instead of, you know, bluish, matte-ish. I don't know how to describe the modern Red Bull cars, but yeah. This is going to be our car for 1998. I think I might keep the livery for 1999 as well, depending on what sponsorships are going to come around. Because this is going to be our target for today. Just get all the housekeeping out of the way for the 1999 season, because one of the things I really appreciate about Grand Prix World is that even at the beginning of the 1998 season, you already have to take care of the 1999 season. So let's start the game, shall we? Skip. Don't want to be banned by ITV. Please no banerino ITV. Alright, let's continue our game. Yes, load the game. 1998. Alright, apart from my weird nasally voice, which once again I apologize for, it's December and my nose is going all kinds of blah at the moment. We have Ralf Schumacher, Pedro Diniz, and Ricardo the Tosser Rosset as a test driver. We have $3 million in the bank. We're supposed to make way more bucks throughout the season. We've scored 0 points in 1997 because we are incredibly competent. Our technical director is Frank Durney. Our chief designer is Neil Oatley. Les Jones is our chief mechanic, and our commercial manager is none other than current F1 boss Stefano Domenicali. Gerhard Berger has announced his plans to retire at the end of the current season, which I've already told you about. The commercial arm of the FIA has confirmed the new funding levels for all teams this year, which for us should be $4.3 million. Now, to be fair, I don't remember what we got last season. You know, I don't remember. But then again, considering that for the first time in Arrow's history, we have a proper title sponsor, you know, in their, like, in-game history, I think we should be alright for 1998, at least financially. Car-wise, not so much. Yeah, once again, we can see our expected income or expected expenditure. One thing I actually forgot to do at the end of the 1997 season is upgrade our facilities, which is kind of a blessing in disguise, considering I'd rather save up money now and actually invest the money we've saved up throughout 1998 at the end of the 1998 season and see what we can do for 1999 and 2000. Meanwhile, our personnel can be seen right here. Ralf Schumacher, Pedro Diniz, and Ricardo Rosset, all heavily motivated. Ralf Schumacher, only 22 years old. Jesus Christ. Young, cheeky Ralph here. Also, you can see everybody who's been signed. Basically, almost everybody has a 2 or 3 year contract. I mean, Emmanuel Collard has like a fucking 6-year contract at Minardi. Lorini has been signed for a long time. Juan Pablo Montoya has signed with Sauber for 1998, as well as 1999, 2000, and 2001. But what's interesting to me is that not only is Berger going to retire at the end of this season, Michael Schumacher is now officially a non-F1 driver, despite being the best driver on the grid by far, and also being the reigning world champion with... Okay, I thought he had 91 wins here, which would have been the stats that, you know, would have been his stats after his career ended in 2012, but it says 91 races, 31 victories, 462 points, and a shit ton of success. Though nobody seems to want to, you know, pay 24 million bucks a season for him, which, I mean, I understand, but at the same time, it's the Michael. I mean, we can't afford him. We only have $3 million in the bank, and even if we had more in the bank, we still wouldn't be able to afford him. What's interesting to me is that Jean Lazy's contract is apparently only for 1 season, as well as Jacques Villeneuve's. We might have a look out for that. despite the fact that both Ralf Schumacher and Pedro Diniz have a 2-year contract with us. But it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they're going to do a swap with McLaren and Ferrari, whether or not, they're going to re-sign for their respective teams, whether or not they're going to get Michael Schumacher in, either at McLaren or maybe at Ferrari, who knows. Will be interesting to see, I think. Our commercial manager, like I said, is Stefano Domenicali. 4-star rated, age 33, 8% royalties, whose final season is 1999, so we do not have to sign a commercial manager just yet. We can do that next season. We also don't have to sign a designer for 1999, since Neil Oakley also has a 2-year contract. I'm about to talk about that. I will talk about that in a second. Also, he's gotten worse since last season, which isn't cool. Frank Durney's final season is 1998, so we have to replace him or re-sign him for 1999. Also, our chief mechanic, Lee Leslos Jones, his contract ends at the end of 1998 as well, so we also have to sign another chief mechanic or re-sign him. So, when it comes to the technical director, we could theoretically sign Ross Brawn for 1999. We could re-sign Mr. Durney. We could bet on Mr. Postlethwaite, Harvey Postlethwaite, to get one more star for 1999 and sign him for a bit less money than Mr. Durney. We could try a similar tactic with Mr. Gary Anderson, who's now at Sauber of all places, former Jordan technical director. We can't sign Simmons, Patrick Head, or Mr. Gundel, whatever that is, because they've already signed 2-year contracts for 1998 and 1999. So my attempt right now would be to sign Mr. Ross Brawn for the Lowells, which is probably not going to happen as I expected. Which means that basically I'm going to try and re-sign Frank Durney for another 2 years. Up the salary a bit, up the race bonus a bit, up the championship bonus a bit, which, again, we're not going to win a championship in the next 2 or 3 years, so it's okay. 2 seasons, there we go. Your team does not have a strong financial package, so basically all we have to do is repeat the same offer for a few races and we should be fine. Then again, we might also talk to Mr. Postlethwaite just in case. Up his salary a bit since he's currently at Jordan, and he'd be ready to join us in 1999. However, if we don't sign him until I think the San Marino Grand Prix or the Argentinian Grand Prix, he'll be so pissed that he'll basically rip the contract out of our hands, rip it apart, and be like, fuck you, I ain't joining you in 1999, which is kind of reasonable, I suppose. Chief Mechanics. I mean, we could sign this guy, or this guy, or this guy, or we could sign somebody who isn't even in Formula 1 right now, who's also apparently loyal to Jacques Villeneuve, which is exactly what I'm about to do, unless we can find someone cheaper. But then again, it's probably rather easy to sign him because he's currently not in Formula 1, so we could actually try and pay him a bit less. 3 seasons, $20,000. Not really. Mr. Gaydon is happy with some of the terms of the deal, but has refused your offer because the salary is not high enough and the championship bonus is too low. That's disappointing. So we could try Mr. Keller from Benetton, who's apparently also loyal to Mr. Alazi. 2 seasons, yada yada yada, there we go. He's also not really interested, but alright. We could try Mr. Colin Shaw, he's free for 1999. Again, I don't recognize any of these names, to be completely frank. But then again, I don't think I'll, have Formula 1 elitists knocking down my door saying, "How do you not know the Colin Shaw, you fake F1 fan?" But yeah, he's also not interested, so we'll see about that after Australia. One thing I should check is whether or not our cars are ready. Yes, they are. We have 3 cars for 1998, car 1, car 2, and car 3. And of course, the first thing we're gonna do is build ourselves a few spare parts, because that's what we're always gonna do. 18%. Only 18% of our engineers necessary to build spare parts. That's nice. There we go. 4 sets. I think I built, I think in the meantime I built a few 1998 cars or something, which is why we can't use all of them. I suppose, but I'm not sure. I don't quite remember, to be completely honest. Now, I'm gonna save state here because once again, I'm not sure whether or not, to see how good or bad our car is, we have to test for, development or research. I suppose we have to go for development. I'm not quite sure. No, not 100%. Also, once again, I apologize for my nasally sounds, but, you know, pseudo-ASMR, I suppose. We can up the miles a bit. It's fairly cheap at the moment, at least in, you know, comparison to what, or compared to what we had last season sometimes. Let's do some research. Let's just check it. There we go. There we go. Rossette's also getting some testing in, and yeah, it was development. All right, which is good. So now we'll know how good or bad or terrible our car is, and spoilerinos, everybody, it's gonna be an absolute disaster because, like I said, the guy who built our 1997 car is the same guy who last year built our 1998 car, who's now at some other team. So basically, we're gonna have to pull through another season with probably 0 points. Yep, handling information, it's... Why is this 62%? This is surprisingly decent. I am confused. Could somebody please enlighten me as to why our car is much better than I expected it to be? Because I expected it to be 40%, like last season. Where are those 22% coming from? What did I miss? Would someone be kind enough to explain this to me? I am a bit confused, to be completely frank. Let me just check something on my phone. Everything's alright. But yeah, 62%. I'm honestly a bit flabbergasted by that. The second year performance is worse than the first year. I know. Like, I don't know if this is like mod specific, like where the way in which the chassis is developed is different from the original, because in the original I think I would have had 40 or 30%, but I'm not gonna say no to that. I'm not gonna say no to a better car than last year. All I can hope, or what I assume, is that the handling, like, status quo has gotten better for everybody, if you know what I mean, so that everybody's handling has gotten much better since last season, maybe? Maybe that's a thing, I don't know. So that last year, if you had a 40% car, now you have a 60% car. If you had a 60% car, now you have an 80% car, and so on. But again, I don't know. Just quite shocked, to be completely frank. But yeah, since our car seems to be alright-ish for 1998, what are we gonna do? I'm a bit overwhelmed by this, to be honest. I have no idea what I'm gonna do now, because I can't just throw away the season now. Which means, and this is a great transition, we might actually try and improve our engine for 1998, because it's not that good. It basically doesn't have any juice, like, at all. The tires are okay-ish. Our fuel is, it exists. Also, we can't change anything about it. Thanks, Pennzoil. But yeah, basically, I feel like our job is going to be much more related to our engine than to our chassis for 1998. Speaking of 1998, let's just check for not only for our sponsors and our bonuses, but let me just check if I can, like... There we go. See, this is the table where we can see everybody's engine manufacturers, like us, Ferrari, and Williams. And I think we can... Yeah, we can compare the engines, and would you look at that? Ferrari has a good engine, Mercedes has an okay engine, except for reliability. Peugeot is going full force. Wait, did I? Alright, yeah. Renault would have been okay-ish, but nobody signed with them for 1998. Mugen is questionable. Yamaha is questionable. And Ford is... yeah. Let's not talk about Hart, though. So basically, my fear is that our chassis is okay, actually, but our engine is a disaster. So my goal for 1998 is going to be engine development. I hope that's okay with everybody. My goal for 1998 is engine development. Also, maybe looking at a new engine for 1999. Because, if I remember correctly, this is a 1-year deal. Meanwhile, both our tire and team sponsorship deals are for 1999 as well. Which is interesting. But yeah. Red Bull loves us. Ford obviously doesn't. We could theoretically go with Ferrari. We could go with Mercedes. We could go with Peugeot. We could go with Renault. Which actually I'm gonna do. Let me invest 15% of our staff to talk to Renault because nobody wants to talk to them at the moment. What are they offering though? Only partner deals. No, I don't know whether or not this could theoretically change while talking to them, so I'm still gonna keep a few percent of our staff with Renault, but, it actually kind of makes sense that they wouldn't, because in 1998, Renault left Formula 1 and, like, sold their engines to, like, Mechachrome and Supertech and all those awful brands. So yeah, that's actually somewhat realistic. We could try and re-sign with Ford if we really wanted to. We could attempt to sign with Ferrari or Mercedes, which, you know, would be the preferable option, I suppose. Which is why we're gonna tell 15% of our commercial staff to talk to Ferrari, 15% of our commercial staff to talk to Mercedes-Benz, and also 5% to talk to Peugeot. Because again, that's the advantage right now. We don't need to talk to a team sponsor for 1999 because we already have one. Because we signed with Red Bull for 1999 as well. We also don't need to talk to a tire sponsor. We don't even need to talk to a fuel sponsor. We can focus on all of this magnificent bullshit. Who do we want for 1999 on our beautiful little black box? What about MasterCard? The Lola, about the Parmalat. I think that would be nice, considering we have Mr. Diniz on our roster. PlayStation, let's keep him on board. Who else could we sign? I don't think I'm really into Pisa. We could try Telecom Italia. We tried that last stream and it didn't work. We can try again. We can try Warsteiner again. 15% for the beer, despite the fact that I despise alcohol. Anything else that springs to mind? Try Fiat for 5 stars. Fiat. I mean, you do have a point, because if we get a Ferrari works deal, that would be brilliant marketing. So, I'll try Fiat. 15%, let's go. But yeah. This might be more chill than I expected it to be. Again, I hope everything works well, because I'm being told that we already dropped 534 frames, which is slightly worrying. But then again, that might just be because, you know, every time I start this game, OBS kind of goes into, nah, I don't really want to, like, show the game because it looks ugly. I don't want to present it to the world mode. So I might have dropped a few frames there. But yeah. I just hope everything works out tonight, or today, or this afternoon. Our estimated balance for 1998 right now is $32 million, which ain't gonna happen, because we're gonna spend a lot of money this year, despite the fact that we don't really want to, but that's the reality of Formula 1 for you. What about our cars wear? Let me just check that. I mean, it's the first race. We might as well try and get in with 0% wear. Yep, that's alright. Anything else I forgot? Yep, you see, Michael Schumacher, reigning world champion, not in Formula 1 anymore doing Nigel Mansell. Let me just see how much a factory improvement would cost per Grand Prix. A bit too much. Not going to do it right now. Not going to do it throughout the season. That's a bit too risky for my taste. Also, let me check if we signed Ralphie as number 1. Yeah, we did sign him as number 1 driver. So we can implement the team orders, as you can see right here. Confirm orders, yes. We don't really have any setup points for the first race because, again, we were just, occupied with testing. But I suppose we will have them for the second race. One more thing that we might want to take care of, however, before the very first Grand Prix is driver aids. Right here. Let's try active suspension again. Maybe it'll work this year, I don't know. Save the game. And we're ready for the first race of 1998. The Australian Grand Prix is next. Shout out to James Early here, who also just uploaded his new Custom F1 video today, which I still need to check out. So this is our grid for 1998. For some oblivious reason, David Coulthard runs the number 1. I don't know why. Fontana number 2, Alesi, Barrichello, Villeneuve in a Ferrari. Let me repeat that. Hakkinen and Katayama, Hill and Berger for Williams, Ralf Schumacher and Pedro Diniz, Fisichella and Heidfeld, Herbert and Van der Ende, Larini, Montoya, Nakano, Miller, Trulli, Panis. Now, to be honest, I kind of forgot to check on the chassis for 1998 of our competitors. However, that makes this even more exciting because I have no clue who's going to be competitive right now. I have no clue. Like, I kind of think Ferrari and McLaren are in for a shot, especially McLaren because they have a Works Ferrari deal. They have Barrichello and Villeneuve on board. We have Williams with, Adrian Newey and Damon Hill on board. So I think those two might be competitive. But again, who knows? Let's find out. And also, let's find out how competitive we are, actually, for 1998. Yes, and... okay, this is actually pretty okay. Mr. Villeneuve, with his first pole position for Ferrari, which is actually pretty cool, a few thousands ahead of Damon Hill, like in 1996. When Villeneuve debuted and instantly went on pole position because, of course. Hakkinen and the Benetton on P3 with the Works Mercedes. Gerhard Berger on P4 with the Williams. Irvine on P5. P6 for Barrichello. Slightly disappointing, I suppose. Katayama P7. Alesi P8. Both arrows in the top 10, which is very cool to see. Heidfeld P11 with the Prost, which is also cool to see. Both Jordans in 12th and 13th. Fisichella in 14th. So Heidfeld beat Fisichella on his debut. That's cool. Montoya in 15th. That's also nice. Beating Larini on his debut. Herbert in 16th. Getting everything out of that Minardi. Jörg Müller in 18th with the Tyrrell Van der Ende 19th. Nakano 20th. And both stewards at the back of the grid. That's harsh. That's harsh, man. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm still flabbergasted by the fact that we're actually going to be somewhat competitive for 1998. Let me just get something to drink. Hold on. I mean, this is going to be fun. Like, I think this is going to be a brilliant 1998 season, especially if we're at least slightly competitive. Slightly competitive. All right. Pedro Diniz and Ralf Schumacher, don't fuck this up, please. Oh, that's very cool. That's brilliant. That's magnificent. That's what I like to see. Jacques Villeneuve wins his very first race for Ferrari, doing what both Kimi Räikkönen and Fernando Alonso did only a few years later. Berger, P2 in a Williams, strong outing from the Austrian. Barrichello on his McLaren debut, P3. Schumacher and Diniz, P4 and P5. Brilliant first race for both of them in 1998. That's already 4. Is it 4 points in the bank? No, 5 points. 5 points in the bank for Arrows already. Fisichella P6, strong race in the Prost. Alesi disappointing in P7. Heidfeld in P8. Montoya P9. Coulthard P10. Top 10 for both rookies. Muller P11. Herbert P12. Nakano P13. So what happened to these guys? Van der Ende's engine exploded. Fontana's electronics died. Irvine's Ford engine went boom. Häkkinen's clutch went, Larini binded, and Damon Hill's hydraulics failed him. And Katayama did a Katayama. Damn, that's cool. This is what I like to see. This is where the game gets cool. This is what I've been waiting for throughout the entirety of 1997. This is the shit. Prost and Arrows ahead of McLaren. This is a parallel universe. Indeed it is, my man. It is. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, why did I assume you're a man just by you watching this stream? Like, you cool person watching this stream, to put it more neutrally. But yeah, Villeneuve's leading the championship. That's cool. Yeah. I cannot complain about that. I cannot complain about that whatsoever. Jacques Villeneuve won, led the Grand Prix, supposedly did the Grand Chelem, I think. Diniz came 5th. Ralf Schumacher just missed a podium place at the last Grand Prix. Guys, we could have a podium this season. Arrows is happy to see both its cars finish in the top 6. Yes. Yes, we are. The FIA has rejected all suggestions by team owners that it is showing favoritism to Arrows. What? I'm watching the stream, just won't be active in chat. Oh, hi James. Hello. Good to see you. No worries. I just had a slightly anxious moment, assuming somebody might not actually be male, and me calling that person male because, you know, mostly male demographic in motorsport, historically, maybe. I don't know. It's just cool that people enjoy this. I mean, hopefully you all enjoy this as much as I do. I'm having a great time with this. I hope you're doing alright, James. I still need to watch your custom F1 video, but I'm gonna do that after the stream. The fastest lap at the last Grand Prix was posted by Hill, so no Grand Chelem for Villeneuve. Oh, so you paid the FIA for better chassis. Interesting. I never told you that officially. A Stewart pit stop at the last race was hampered by refueling problems. That's sad. Problems with the jack during one of the Tyrrell pit stops at the last race hurt the team's chances. That's sad. Reliable sources claim that Frank Durney has been beating with Ferrari. Oh, come on, Frank. Don't do that, please. 98% of my viewers are male, so yes, the demographic is majority male. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna go into like the I'm not gonna go into the ins and outs of demographics right now. But yeah. Again, I just don't want to make assumptions, you know, based on names or like based on just profile pictures and everything. So that's why I just went slightly anxious there. Again, I just hope you're all having a good time. And if I say dumb shit, please let me know. You know, if I like if I misspell your name, right? If I if I assume your pronouns wrong, whatever, please just let me know. All right, please just let me know. I'm trying my best. Okay, anxious mode over. Sports journalists have voted Simon Core Manager of the Month. Yes, yes, yes. This is what I want to see. Also, we made a loss of $138,000. That's not what I want to see. But yeah. Also, I hope the stream didn't just die, considering that OBS told me it might have just died. But yeah, if there are also any technical difficulties, please let me know. Trying to solve them as quickly as I can if they ever appear. So the morale's really high because we just had a great fucking race that basically was better than our entire 1997 season. You do not have enough space. Yeah, whatever. Changes, blah, blah, blah. That's alright. So, meanwhile, Mr. Durney, would you mind signing for us again? He's okay. He wants to sign with us. That's cool. 2 more seasons of Mr. Durney. Let me just check something. Yep. Stream still works. That's good. Again, I'm just really happy this works because this is exactly what I want out of this season. Just being more competitive, fully indulging in this weird, bizarre alternative universe, and at the same time creating a hopefully comfy and somewhat wholesome atmosphere for all of you, you know, watching this, because, you know, I just want to create a little, like, wholesome space, you know, with this little Grand Prix World live stream series, and, you know, that would be cool. So I'm just really happy that this seems to work out quite well. Meanwhile, Mr. Jones is, you know, still on the fence on whether or not he wants to, or is he? Oh yeah, right, we didn't even offer him a contract for 1999 because his stats are shit. So let's try and sign this dude again. He's still not interested, despite not being in Formula 1. We could still try and sign Keller person, who's also not interested. And this person's also not interested. So we actually might have to either sign Mr. Jones or sign someone with similar stats who isn't in Formula 1. Like this person, whom we might get rather cheaply. Absolutely! Goodbye, Lou Jones, Los Jones, Los Jones. I don't remember the names of my employees because I am good boss. I am Snoz boss. But yeah. Meanwhile, our active suspension is actually going quite well, which is nice to see. We might actually try and ask the FIA if they are legal this season compared to last year where they weren't. But first and foremost, let me build the spare parts because they are important. There we go. Snoz, absolutely. I mean, I'm very happy that you seem to take a liking to Snoz, James. I'm completely honest. I'm happy that you seem to take a liking to the guy. That's cool to see. I actually thought about implementing like entering Snoz for your like 1995 junior categories in like custom F1. Since I didn't really want to enter Simon Core as a character in your universe, but I might as well just, you know, enter the Snoz for 1995. Get him into Formula 1, baby. Meanwhile, we're gonna do a few more development miles and actually try and see if we can already do a bit of engine testing. Hopefully this works out. You're gonna do that, you're gonna do that, and Mr. Rosset, with all of his might and competence, is gonna do all of the engine testing. There we go. Which, you know, is 1 dot, but, you know, what do you expect, Rosset? Testing has uncovered a handling problem in your cars. Alright. So we might actually be able to develop our car this season? I mean, we could attempt to do that, but then again, I don't know whether I should just focus on the engine a bit more, since the engine is kind of crap. We'll see about that. Let me just repair the cars. Repair car number 1, repair car number 2. 3% left. That was tight. That was tight, but it works. Imagining Snoz in Formula 1. I mean, imagine Snoz in Grand Prix World. That would also be interesting, I think. I mean, I still consider, like, doing... Like, after this, I still consider doing, like, a modded Grand Prix World with, like, maybe streamline engineering and you, like, James and Josh and me and, you know, maybe a few guys from the Discord and all that. How are you? I mean, I don't know if you were referencing James, but... I'm alright, I think. Always the very difficult questions in chat, like, how are you? What's the meaning of life? But yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I hope you're good. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Hope you're enjoying the stream, Adam. I feel like I need to repeat this. I am so happy with how this season has gone. And it's only been one race. See, this is basically our testing bar for the engine. I don't know how much of the bar we have to fill to actually improve the engine, but that's what I'd like to focus on for 1998, since we can't really do anything here, like in relation to tires and fuel, but we could actually upgrade our engine a bit. Meanwhile, on the sponsorship globe, let's have a look at the engine deal for 1999, since our Ford deal ends at the end of 1998. Yeah, I was talking to you, man. I'm enjoying the stream a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ferrari would be interested in working with us, but only under partner conditions. So would Mercedes. Peugeot would actually be interested in supplying us with works engines for 1999. Okay. Renault would only be interested in a partner deal, so they're kind of out of the loop, I think. Similarly to Ferrari and Mercedes, because again, those engines would be quite nice, but at the same time, I'm still trying to build a business here, as dumb as that sounds. And driver tests, I suggest to focus into the engine. Yep. I agree with you. I think we should focus on the engine and try and get the best out of the Ford V10 we can. So let's actually talk to Ford just in case the Peugeot thing doesn't work out, and see what they'd offer us for 1999 as a comparison. Again, we don't need to care about tires. We need to care about fuel. Rizzer, you actually suggested Fiat as a sponsor, which they seem to approve of. Who else do we talk to? MasterCard. Parmalat just doesn't give a fuck, right? Family issues at the Dinnies. PlayStation is interested, which is cool. Getting in the gamer cred once again. Telecom Italia is interested. Warsteiner is interested. This is all going quite well, to be honest. Actually, let's focus on Fiat, since they're willing to pay us almost $2 million bucks. Let's focus on MasterCard, who are a 4-star sponsor, but you know would offer us $2 million, and are currently sponsoring McLaren. PlayStation for the gamer cred. Insert bad PlayStation 5 joke here, since I do not really care about that console, despite me appreciating its technical capabilities. And let's put some percent on Warsteiner. Yeah, that's it for the finances, I think. Just save the game. Always save your game, kids. Confirm orders. Again, Rolf's number 1, Pedro's number 2. I actually forgot to do setup testing once again, but then again, we might not actually be dependent on it as much right now. Also, we could try and see whether or not Pedro or Ralph could do well with softs. I'm gonna give Pedro the softs for this race and see what happens, you know, during his home Grand Prix. Alright, Again, once again, I apologize for my weird mouth sounds and everything. I'm a bit nasally at the moment, due to it being flipping December already. Once again, here's the starting grid. Or not the starting grid, but like the starting list for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's warm, it's dry, and it's Häkkinen on pole. Once again, both arrows in the top 10, which is nice. Dennis 3/10 quicker than Schumacher, so actually the softs work quite well for qualifying, as we see. Häkkinen ahead of Berger, Hill, Villeneuve only 4th, Katayama in 5th, Irvine, Alesi, Barrichello, Diniz, and Schumacher. That's an interesting grid, isn't it? Fisichella, Montoya, Fontana, Jordan's somewhat disappointing pace. Both stewards with terrible pace, despite both drivers being decent, I think. So I suppose it's going to be a championship battle between McLaren, Ferrari, Benetton, and Williams. I mean, that's kind of realistic, I suppose, despite McLaren running Ferrari engines, Ferrari running Ford engines, Benetton running Mercedes engines, and Williams running Ford customer engines. Also, can we just take a second to remember that Jordan runs works Mercedes engines and is floundering in 13th and 14th? That's disappointing. It's overcast, and I hope this goes alright. It doesn't go alright. Villeneuve wins his second race in a row for Ferrari. That's cool. Berger, Katayama on the podium ahead of Barrichello, Irvine, and Hill in P6, who might be a bit disappointed. Häkkinen 7th. So basically, Katayama beat Häkkinen on merit. That's actually quite shocking. Also, peak photo finish for P6. Lol. I mean, look at this. Look at this photo finish. So what happened to our drivers? So, Schumacher Jr. fucked it up. Driver error. And Dinner's clutch went, which, again, is disappointing, but I'm not too mad because we're already way better than we were in 1997. So, that's just what we're going to have to deal with. You know, reliability in the late 90s was very poor, so it's just the way it is. So Villeneuve leads the championship ahead of Berger, of all people. Could you imagine Gerhard Berger winning the title in his final season? That's what I want to see. That's what I'm here for. Gerhard Berger winning his first championship in his final F1 season. That would be great. That would be amazeballs. We're still 4th in the Constructors, though, which is cool. We're going to save the game, and we're going to read the news. Jacques Villeneuve wins. Häkkinen took his first ever pole position during the last race, which is interesting. Nightmare race. I agree. And Villeneuve is returning to the Williams for 1999. How bizarre. Schumacher has retired because he's a driver. Diniz has retired because clutch. So yeah, Villeneuve signs for OK. So what I suspected was that Alesi and Villeneuve might swap seats, so Alesi would go to Ferrari and Villeneuve would go to McLaren. That was 50% true, but Villeneuve is actually going to take the seat at Williams. Interesting. Also, Alesi's gonna return to Ferrari for 1999, which is, I mean, that's just lovely, isn't it? The prodigal son, the prodigal Sicilian son, the prodigal Sicilian son returning home to his to the team that basically defined his career and its, you know, incompetence. You know, the incompetence of early 90s Ferrari. A locked wheel nut during one of the Jordan pit stops at the last race cost the team dearly. Did stall during a pit stop at the last Grand Prix. Ah, come on. McLaren hopes to close a deal. Ooh. Are they gonna sign the Michael? Are they gonna sign the Michael? Villeneuve probably fucked with Ferrari, so he returned to Williams. I mean, maybe, but he's currently the championship leader. Like, why would they be, like, fighting with each other? I don't get it, but again, what do I know? I'm not a Formula 1 world champion. Arrows has just announced a chief mechanic deal with Dave Luckett. FIA chassis regulations for next year mean that it will not be legal to run this year's car next season. Okay. Ferrari said to be close to signing a chief mechanic deal with Ross Brawn. Okay. The ride height of the Benetton cars was amazingly constant at the last race. Active suspension! The FIA has issued regulations governing the design and dimensions of next year's chassis, so basically we could already start working on the 1999 car if we wanted to. Also, people don't like Eddie Jordan for some reason. Also, we made a profit of $300,000, which is cool. Look, the bar goes up. That's nice. How's the morale? It's still okay. It's still good. We're still good. We're still good. Morale's really high with the design department, which is nice to see. Anything I forgot? We signed there. So we did all the signings for 1999, which is, you know, comforting. Building spare parts, because it's fun time. I mean, could you imagine late 90s F1, right? Everybody basically has 1-year contracts for 1997. And then in 1998, everybody just goes, yeah, I don't like it here. Let me go back. Jacques just goes, let me go back. I want to go back. I don't like it here. What about the... Oh, our active suspension is ready. Let's ask the FIA if it's legal. It has approved our active suspension, guys! We can run an absurd Williams-like machine! We're going full Williams 1992 now, are we? Running the active suspension. That's nice. Construct. Yes, please. Active suspension constructed. Ah, that's cool. I mean, have you ever seen such realism in an F1 management simulation? What are we gonna do? We're gonna do a better setup, just in case. We're gonna do 55 miles of testing. We're gonna invest the big bucks. We'll do more engine testing, which good old Ricardo is gonna take care of. Meanwhile, Ralph is gonna take care of research and setup. So is Pedro, and Ricardo's gonna take care of the engine. Which seems to have worked out okay-ish, I suppose. Some might say it's mediocre. So guys, what's your take on my theory that Gerhard Berger should win this championship? Let me know. I think Gerhard should win this championship. Like, it's his final season, he's at a top team, like, he's never won the championship before, he's literally done everything else. I mean, I think that would be cool. And then maybe 20 years later, DTM might be more successful because it's run by an F1 champion. Who knows? Was that a slight dig towards DTM? I don't know. So we can develop our very first engine upgrade. Do you wish to carry out R&D? Yes. Improvement? Yes. Power? Yes. The slightest of improvements for the next race, I suppose. Again, like I said, we can't do anything with the tires, we can't do anything with the fuel, but again, we can try and make the very best out of the Ford engines for 1998. Meanwhile, when it comes to the engine sponsorship stories, Peugeot, I mean, they're still interested. Maybe I should up the percentages a bit. They're worryingly low at the moment. Ford would offer us the exact same amount of money as Peugeot. Actually, a bit less. Huh. I hope he will win the championship. He will leave as a legend. Yeah, that would be cool. I'd approve of that. So let me just we don't need 20% at Warsteiner. Let me put him towards Peugeot because I'm after that Peugeot deal right now. I want that Works Peugeot deal for 1999. Sorry, Fiat. We need a bit more. We need a few more people at Peugeot. Sorry, MasterCard. We need a few more people at the Peugeot. There we go. 30%. That should be all right. I hope. And again, just in case this doesn't work out, we could still try and get a works deal with Ford. Confirm orders. Yes. Setup now. I'm gonna give good old Ralphie a bit of a rainy setup, and Pedro, heat, because heat sounds like a setup thing. So here's the thing. How can I actually activate the active suspension, guys? Or wait, can I think I can only use it next race, can I? Let me just check. Oh, wait. Wait. I am a dipshit. And I just wasted a shit ton of money to actually use the driver aids at the next race, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. Because we now have active suspension. Yes! Save the game. Argentina it is. Light rain, so Ralph might actually have a shot depending on his rain skill, which might be okay, I think. At least in game. Yes, and... Oh, hold on. Pole position for Ralf Schumacher! Pole position for the Ralph in the arrows. Realism, I tell you. Damon Hill 2nd, Eddie Irvine 3rd, Alesi 4th, Berger 5th, Häkkinen 6th, Barrichello 7th, Villeneuve only 8th, Diniz 9th, Fisichella 10th. I'll take it. And Van der Ende didn't qualify because Minardi, I suppose. But yeah, pole position for the Ralph. Oh dear. So, remember 1997 when Damon Hill had that one Grand Prix where he actually could have won? You know, Hungary in 1997, and we never even came close to that scenario in Grand Prix World. We might actually come closer to that in 1998, depending on how the season develops. Doggo goes dog-o. Though it's most likely gonna be dry. Doggo. Doggo goes brr. Brr as in he's having the time of his life. As in woof woof. As in, I am slightly annoyed at my doggo going woof woof, but okay. So yeah, guys, first race of the season, and active suspension... Third race of the season, and active suspension has already paid off, seemingly. So it's time for the Argentinian Grand Prix that maybe Ralf Schumacher could at least finish in the points. That would be cool, you know? Let's find out. I'm actually not nervous. Let's just see. At least we're in the points. I'm slightly disappointed, but Jacques Villeneuve wins 3 in a row. It's a Ferrari 1-2, Häkkinen 3rd, Alesi 4th, Barrichello 5th, Schumacher ahead of Diniz in P6. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's an okay result. I'm happy to be in the points, but darn it. If only it had rain, you know? If only there was rain in the race. Berger retired because of a clutch issue. Both Hill and Fontana retired because they're drivers. Engine failures for Sauber and Stewart. Yeah. Villeneuve's running away with the championship right now, everybody. Berger's still second. Barrichello's now in third. Irvine's fourth. Häkkinen's fifth. As well as Ralph and Katayama. Yeah, again, I can't complain, but if only it had kept raining, you know? But then again, it's the first pole position for Ralf Schumacher, which, again, I can't complain about. Has taken 3 races in succession. Yep, Villeneuve is going full force at the moment. Pedro Diniz is said to be unhappy with his car. Well, why? Why? It's the best car you've ever driven. Shut up. McLaren has closed the deal with Michael Schumacher. The Michael is going to return, and he's going to drive for the McLaren in 1999. The excellent Ross Brawn has agreed to join Ferrari. Veteran Mick Ansley-Collishaw has agreed to join McLaren. Problems with the jack during one of the Ferrari pit stops at the last race hurt the team's chances. They say when they finished 1-2, but, you know. Tyrrell admits that one of its cars did stall during a pit stop at the last Grand Prix. That's sad. That sucks. TV audiences have chosen Luca Di Montezemolo as best F1 manager. Okay. We made a bit of profit. That's nice. Ralph is happy. I mean, he should be. That's good to see. Meanwhile, let's build a few spares because that's the most important thing. Always keep on building spares, everybody. If you ever decide to get this game, if you ever decide to play this game, again, the link for the mods in the description. Build spares. Let me remind you one more time. Build spares. Otherwise, the Snoz will be very mad at you. We gotta love Santiago. I think I might as well just repeat the testing schedule from the last Grand Prix. I was pretty happy with that. Wait. There we go. Yep. Yep, that's alright. That's pretty alright. Let me just repair our cars. I think it's funny because when it comes to, like, the real 1998 season, as much as it was an interesting season between Häkkinen and Schumacher, it wasn't really as competitive as the real-life 1997 season, you know? Especially when it comes to who could, you know, finish on the podium, who could win races. Sure, you had the Belgium Grand Prix in 1998 and all that jazz, but, I actually feel like this might be a bit more interesting, you know, depending on how the season develops. Then again, Villeneuve might just run away with it like Schumi did last year, but we'll see. Should we actually try and evolve the active suspension, considering we still have a lot of time with the 1999 chassis, which we're basically going to start right now? 30%, and I'd say 70% active suspension stage 2. That'll be fun. Anything else? You know what? We'll wait. We'll save this bar up for a bit and see what we can do if we save it up for like 2 to 3 races, because I'm interested to see what we can do with the Ford engine. Meanwhile, our talks with Peugeot have gone a bit further, at least a tad bit. Ford is just there. They exist. MasterCard seems to like us. So does Fiat, which is cool. What about PlayStation? They don't give a shit. Alright. Telecom Italia doesn't really give a shit. Neither does... Oh, Warsteiner actually kind of does. So let's just use our TV advantage to... Nope, not Ford. Peugeot. There we go. Trying to secure the French engine manufacturer support for 1999. That would be nice. Also, for any of you who haven't seen our car yet, because, you know, how dare you miss the first part of the stream, brr. This is our beautiful machine. For any of you who haven't seen it yet. It's basically a Red Bull car before Red Bull cars were a thing outside of Sauber. Again, let me repeat that one more time. I will never, ever, ever want to be associated with Red Bull in real life, but they seem to sponsor us in 1998 anyway, so I don't know. I took the money. I took the money. But yeah. Also, even if we didn't sign any further sponsors for 1999, we'd still be kind of okay money-wise. And this is not the livery I want for 1999, let me tell you that. How'd you modify the livery of the car? Basically, in-game, it's very easy to replace textures. So basically, you can take the original texture, you can paint over it, and you can reinsert it into the game, like in F1 Challenge, for example. What was a bit difficult is to actually find where the liveries are located, because I am not sure where it was, to be honest, in the directory of the game, but it's rather simple, actually. Just take the livery, paint over it, save it as a bitmap, in the exact same place with the exact same name, and there you go, you know? Simple as that. Confirm orders. Yes! Yes, please. What are we gonna do? We might actually gamble on rain again, just in case. We might gamble on wind, because wind exists. This is okay. This is pretty alright. Once again, I feel like I have to apologize for my mouth sounding rather bizarre. Wait, did I save? Save game. There we go. It's dry. That's disappointing. But we're still in the top 10, so I feel like we might drop down the order just a tad bit throughout the season, which I'm okay with. Considering we might actually be able to, like, balance that out with engine developments. Jacques Villeneuve's on pole position ahead of Hill, Häkkinen, Irvine, Berger, Katayama, Alesi, Barrichello, Dennis, and Schumacher. Again, that's pretty okay for me. We're also the best, which something I've just noticed is that we're the best Bridgestone runner, actually. Since we're ahead of Prost, we're ahead of Sauber, we're ahead of Minardi, we're ahead of Tyrrell. So yeah, that's cool. Best Bridgestone runner, everybody. It's an overcast day at San Marino. And once again, we finish in the points with Ralf Schumacher. Villeneuve wins again ahead of Hill, Alesi, Katayama, Barrichello, and Schumacher. Now, whatever happened to the Williams? Well, apparently, Berger had an accident, and Hill... Oh, yeah, right, Hill finished in P2. I'm a dipshit. Also, a photo finish between Katayama and Barrichello. Remember to put the new engine. Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. I am a dipshit. I am a dipshit. Or to quote a famous racing driver, I am stupid. But yeah, Katayama's in 4th. Katayama once again ahead of Häkkinen. I mean, I wouldn't have predicted that before the season. Reason unknown. We don't know why Häkkinen retired. He just did. He just did. He just retired. Just because, you know. He was annoyed by, you know, that potentially he's... Like, basically, my storyline explanation is that he was so insulted by the fact that he's racing with Katayama. You know, that he was like, ah, fuck this. Fuck this, I'm going home. So Villeneuve leads with 40 points ahead of Berger with 12. Say goodbye to that championship dream, Gerhard. Barrichello 3rd, Irvine, Alesi, Hill, Katayama, Schumacher, Häkkinen, Dennis, Fisichella. And we're still 5th in the championship, which, again, I can't really complain about. That's okay for me. That's alright for me. With 4 straight wins, Jacques Villeneuve is in a class of his own. I agree. I agree. Oh! So, I didn't know this was possible in Grand Prix World, but Gerhard Berger has cancelled his retirement plans and will race in F1 next year, going full Nigel Mansell. So much for storytelling, everybody. Gerhard is also gonna race in 1999. Yeah. So I didn't. Complete honesty, guys. I didn't know this was actually a possibility in Grand Prix World, but it's brilliant. I love this. I love this so much. Also, Ferrari has signed a major development deal with Bridgestone, so they're switching sides for 1999. Pedro Diniz is said to be unhappy with his car. Again, I don't get it. Williams has been in deep discussion with Adrian Newey over a technical director post with the team next year. Yeah, we made a profit of $500,000. Why is unknown even an option? I don't know. Maybe for us to think up stupid reasons as to why people retire. I don't know. Still, my favorite reason why people retire is during the last stream when Josh just went, Jacques Villeneuve retired because his lawyer called him telling him that Psychnosis was planning on him being named in F1 97. Yeah. Subscribe to Super Gazelle, everybody. Good channel. Good channel. Some good shit. As you can see, Ralph is happy. Pedro is apparently also happy, despite him saying otherwise. Yeah, first and foremost, spares. Never forget the spares. Am I annoying already with the spare? Okay. I feel like I enjoy annoying people on stream a tad bit too much, right? Just a tad bit. Just a little bit. Meanwhile, our Stage 2 active suspension is ready to be approved by the FIA. Let's hope for the best. Aw, come on. We'll try again. I want my active suspension Stage 2. Unless Berger doesn't find any seat, Schumacher 97 asks, yeah, but something tells me he might find a seat, you know? We'll have a look later on. Meanwhile, our chassis design development stage part thingy is, yeah. But don't worry, guys, we'll put more of an emphasis on it after Monaco, I think. Let's do testing. Testing! Ah! SpongeBob! Yeah, that's a reference. Let's just repair the cars. Repaired. Like, I feel like I'm missing the weird bullshit user interface of, like, a mobile game. I.e. Motorsport Manager. I could totally see, like, a mobile management simulator just go, like, every time I'm clicking here going, you're doing great, you're doing amazing, and, like, some weird shaky, like, VFX and shit, if you know what I mean. Like, I could totally see that being a thing. Anything I forgot? No, we took care of this. We're not gonna develop this. We're not gonna do this. Now we can actually try and properly evolve our engine. Improvement, 2 bars. More juice. More power. We need power. Meanwhile, in the weird, wild, and bizarre world of capitalism, Peugeot is still a bit cold towards us. That's a bit disappointing. Ford likes us, even though we don't really talk to them anymore. Warsteiner is still okay with us. Fiat's still okay with us. What about MasterCard? They're basically almost ready to sign with us. The gamer cred is still going fantastically. And Telecom still doesn't really care about us. So let's save the game and prepare for round number 5, the Spanish Grand Prix is next. I still can't do the James Early voice. I'm sorry. Still going rain setup because we never know when we might actually be able to use it. Engine 2. Thanks for the reminder. Let's actually use our advanced engine for the Spanish Grand Prix. Click. Click. Once again, top 10. Once again, Villeneuve on pole position in the Ferrari. Both Williams only P4 and P5. Katayama in P6. Häkkinen on the front row as well. Montoya and Heidfeld are doing quite well this season, I'd have to say. You know, both being rookies. That's cool. Both Stewarts are certainly underperforming. They're 1 second off of fucking Muller in the Turl. That's so sad. Press finish button on 1999 car development. It will ruin your chances for good 1999 season completely, but it might be funny. No. No. I am not willing to give up Arrow's evolution just yet, okay? Not yet. Not yet. Alright, it's time for the Spanish Grand Prix. And we're not in the points, sadly. Damon Hill actually wins ahead of Häkkinen, Villeneuve, Irvine, Berger, and Barrichello, so no Villeneuve victory today. Diniz 7th, Alesi 8th, Montoya 9th in the top 10. Strong performance by the rookie Colombian ahead of his teammate. Schumacher's hydraulics failed. What about Villeneuve? Where's Villeneuve? Oh, he's in P3. So he was beaten on merit and had a photo finish with his teammate, because doing a fake photo finish with your teammate definitely seems cool when you're in P3 and P4, isn't it? Ah, yeah. Ferrari got a Ferrari. Berger in 5th, Barrichello in 6th, Alesi in 8th in the McLaren. He's probably a bit disappointed. Trulli had an accident. Pan's engine blew up. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Villeneuve is still running away with the championship, everybody. And next up is the Monaco Grand Prix. Oh, this is interesting. Williams has signed a landmark works deal with Ford. Also, once again, I know I'm probably annoying you with this. I apologize for any weird nose sounds. I'm not gonna say sick, but my nose is not very friendly towards me when it's winter, so I apologize for any weird sounds, you know. I hope you're all okay with that. I'm sorry. High performance. Ferrari is happy to see both its cars finish in the top 6. Villeneuve has taken a great lead in the championship. Yep. Williams is happy to see both its cars finish. PlayStation has pulled out of a deal with Arrows to sign with McLaren, so the gamer cred is gone. Also, fastest lap by Katayama. Peak storytelling. Adrian Newey re-signs with Williams. Benetton apparently has a traction control as well. And motorsport fans hate Giancarlo Minardi for some reason. We're making a profit. We're running all right. And Schumacher is still happy. That's cool. Don't forget about the spares. You might be confused as to why I'm so insistent on the spare thing, but let me tell you, from years of experience where you're playing with teams like Sauber or Tyrrell or like some backmarker team, and not only do you forget to do this, you don't even have the capacity to do it, and you're like, oh, fuck. That's why I'm so insistent on spares, because I'd always rather have too many than not enough when it comes to spares. Meanwhile, our 1999 chassis is growing slowly but surely. 8% efficiency. That's chef kiss right there. Let's perform some testing. Let's repair our cars, and let's do another engine upgrade, shall we? Repairs, 2% damage. Done and dusted. There we go. Improvement. Yes, thank you. More power. We need the power. Hey everybody, it's... No. Not today, folks. Not today. So what could I do to be, like, cool and hip and with the times on the stream? So, y'all, who's gonna win the championship this Sunday? I have no clue because I'm not gonna watch. But what are y'all's predictions on the 2021 Grand Prix World Championship? Let me know in the chat. Or the comments, depending on whether or not you watch the replay of this. Telecom doesn't care, Vashtina doesn't care. I mean, we can basically end our conversations with Ford right now because they're not going to offer us a work steal anymore. So it's Peugeot or bust. 50%. Let's go. Am I forgetting anything? No, this is alright. Confirm orders, yes. Range setup, yes, please. I hope for max. Okay. Why? Like, that's just naive me question, like, why? Like, because there is legitimately a part of me that does not understand why I would support, like, emotionally be invested in people's, like, sports success that I do not know personally, you know? Because I don't know Max, I don't know Lewis, I don't know any of these people on the grid. Like, none of the 19 people I acknowledge, and that one person I like to forget about because his actions last year were disgusting, and we do not talk about him on this channel. But yeah, I don't know if that's, like, understandable for you all, but I am very bad at getting emotionally invested in, like, sports people and their achievements and such. Confirm assembly, yes. Wait, now we will. Yes. Assembled for the next Grand Prix, and off to Monaco we go. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, and... what a surprise! P9 and P10. Villeneuve on pole once again ahead of Berger, Irvine, Hakkinen, Katayama, Barrichello, Hill, Alesi, Schumacher, and Diniz, Montoya, Heidfeld. Once again, good job from the rookies. Once again, the Stewarts are disappointing. Minardi's are Minardi's. Turtles are Turtles. Jordans are very disappointing this season. Yeah. And Katayama's doing quite a good job, I have to say, for, like, the fact that he's Katayama. Oh, so it's the 2008 thing. Oh dear. I'm not gonna say the Glock thing. I'm not gonna say the line, but I watched that live when I was like 8, and I was also disappointed because I was a big, like, after being a Schumi fan, the next thing for me was I was a Ferrari fan for 2007 and 2008. You know. And I didn't like Lewis because the thing is, I wouldn't say I like XYZ on the grid because I do not know them personally. All I can say is that from what I know about them, I think I like Lewis Hamilton because I appreciate his political stance in public, you know? That doesn't mean I like him personally because I do not know him personally and I have no idea what he does, you know, personally, and how he behaves as a human being away from the limelight. Maybe that's just over-anxious me talking, but that's how I perceive it. I don't know if that's reasonable or not, but, you know, that's my hot take for the day. I have just stopping by to say have fun and good luck for the races. Thank you, Josh. We're having fun. It's fucking bizarre. That's all I can say. It's fucking bizarre. Let me just point out that if anybody here isn't subscribed to Super Gazelle, you should be. You should be subscribed to Super Gazelle. Just putting it out there. Some spicy content on there. So it's time for the Monaco Grand Prix with Ralf Schumacher and Pedro Diniz driving Ferraros. And we're not in the points, which is very disappointing. Eddie Irvine, of all people, wins the Monaco Grand Prix ahead of Berger, Hakkinen, Hill, Katayama, and Villeneuve. What the fuck, Jack? Barrichello 7th, our boys in P8 and P9. Slightly disappointed, to be completely frank. Not as many people retired as I expected to be. A lazy retired with an engine failure. Truly retired with an engine failure. Hydraulics gone. Heidfeld binned it. But yeah. But personally, in this weekend, I'm more focused to see the last race of Raikkonen and Giovinazzi. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Though with Raikkonen, I think it's interesting because I get why people like Raikkonen, right? Again, my perception of public people is a bit bizarre, and, you know, I do not judge you if you like people in public, you know, maybe except for liking one guy in public, because one guy on the F1 grid can definitely fuck off. And you all know who I'm talking about, right? I'm going to say the line, yeah, but I'm not going to read it out. The thing is, I don't know if people like Kimi Räikkönen because of his character and because of the way he is as a driver, or because he's a meme. I'm not really sure. Also, I am not completely sure if the way he behaves and interacts with Formula 1 is as authentic as people make it out to be. Not because I'm sitting here saying it's inauthentic, because again, I do not know the guy personally. I have no fucking clue what the guy's like personally. I'm just pointing it out because, or I'm just putting it out there that, sometimes it's discussed, you know, oh, Lewis or Max or Charles or George, they all do this for marketing and because they're PR people and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But, like, who's to say that Kimi isn't also like that? Who's to say that Kimi doesn't say certain things for PR or because he knows that might boost his image? Is that too much, like, tinfoil hat me going around right now? Is that too much tinfoil me? Like, let me know in the chat. And again, that doesn't mean I don't like Kimi. You know, who doesn't love Kimi? But it's just me trying to have a bit more of a distant perception of Formula 1 and what it is, first and foremost, which is a business, you know? But yeah, it's probably the last race for both Kimi and Gio. Just to tell you how much I'm out of the loop, I don't even know who's going to drive for Alfa Romeo next season. I think Valtteri and Guan Yu Zhou are going to race for Alfa next year, but I don't know, and I don't really care too much. Yeah, Villeneuve, great lead, yada, yada, yada. Fastest lap for Irvine. Aeros drivers are slightly concerned. A locked wheel nut. Sponsorship news and public panels and all that good jazz. We made a profit of $800,000. We should do more with our money, I suppose. Guys, how should we spend our money? How should we spend our precious dollar? Let me just see. Morale's okay. Nobody gives a fuck about the high scores. Alright, so basically we're gonna try and see... You know what? Nope. I don't trust this. We'll go back on this. And we'll start to develop the 1999 car properly now. Because I'm a bit wary of not, you know, finishing it in time. Also, spare parts! Spares! Ribs! Spare ribs! Yoink! God! If you all don't know this video, this might be very bizarre to you right now, but I was just referencing a Halloween-themed Vine video where somebody holds a little, like, toy skeleton and pretends to use it as like a puppet with which he speaks, and screams at another guy and asks him what a skeleton's favorite meal is, and he says spare ribs, very angrily. Also, why is the music dead? No, it's not dead anymore. So yeah, that's the reference, and I just killed the joke, but yeah, spare ribs, everybody. You have built 4 bases at cost. You have built, yes. Yes. And we have a full bar of spare parts because we can. And because it makes me feel mighty. 15%. Let's do a bit more setup, right? Let's see if we can actually help Mr. Diniz and Mr. Schumacher that way. 50. You know what? No, Pedro's gonna do more setup. Went well. Research has provided. Yep. All right. It seems to have helped right here, which is nice. Furthering the progression just a tad bit, which is cool. Anything I forgot? No, we're not. We're gonna save this. Again, we're gonna build for a bigger upgrade for maybe like the French or British Grand Prix. Can't do anything here. Not gonna do anything here just yet. Would somebody please sign us? Okay. For that next year's, I'm curious for Russell. Finally, he has the chance. Yep. I mean, it's cool that he finally has a seat where he can prove, you know, how good he actually is next to arguably the greatest Formula 1 driver of all time. Statistically, he already is, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, our only shot for a works engine. Hopefully this works out. Meanwhile, Fiat, not yet. MasterCard, we can sign with MasterCard. Cool. Lola vibes, everybody. So we already have our first new sponsor for 1999, that being MasterCard. Telecom Italia, slowly but surely warming up to us, so is Warsteiner. So that's cool. Let's check this, and check this, save game. Well, the Mercedes hope not to be the McLaren in 2007. I mean, they might be. They might be. Just wait and see, I suppose. Bit of rain set up here. Bit of rain set up here. Let's go for speed. Speed. Also, engine 4. Yes. Confirm assembly. Yep. Save the game. Yes. I mean, when was... See, 2007 is funny because not only was that one of the first seasons I remember, you know, the first season without Michael Schumacher I remember, 2007, as great as it was, you know, thematically, or like, as like theatrical, like, as this titanic battle between McLaren and Ferrari, it was basically 4 drivers who realistically could win races and, like, nobody else, if we're being completely honest, which I don't know if people would approve of that nowadays, you know? Like, it was basically Ferrari, McLaren, then a huge fucking gap, and then, like, Renault, BMW, like, first BMW, then Renault, you know, that whole midfield lot, you know? I didn't know if people would be as kind to that now as they were in 2007, but it was certainly entertaining. Qualifying time. Top 10 once again. Irvine, Hakkinen, Berger, Alesi, Barrichello, Katayama. Villeneuve only in 7th for his home race. That's very disappointing. Irvine knocking it out of the park. Hill 8th. Schumacher, Diniz, Fisichella finally ahead of Heidfeld. Heidfeld, Montoya, Fontana. Jordans are only getting worse by the day. The Stewarts are a disaster in 1998. Let's hope for points. And our wish is not fulfilled. Villeneuve wins his home Grand Prix, something he could never achieve in real life, ahead of Berger, Alesi, Barrichello, Hakkinen, Katayama, Diniz, and Schumacher. Once again, that's slightly disappointing, but we'll have to live with it. Montoya, Fisichella, Lorini, Fontana, and van der Ende. Hill's engine blew up. Ferrari, Irvine's Ford engine in a Ferrari blew up. Once again, that's just hilarious to say. Panis is a driver, yes, thank you for acknowledging Grand Prix World. That's correct. Meanwhile, Villeneuve is still the virtual world champion of 1998. Like, that ain't not gonna change for the rest of this stream. And I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. That's scary, actually. When am I gonna end the stream? Guys, should I just finish the stream? Should I, like, finish the Season 1 stream? Or do you think it would make more sense for me to split it up into 2? What do you think? We're halfway through the season, basically. What do you think? Give me your feedback. McLaren has completed a team sponsorship deal with Marlboro. Yeah, keeping the stripes. Anything else noteworthy? Williams has signed a major development deal with Bridgestone. Everybody's switching sites. That's interesting. Villeneuve has taken a great lead. Yada, yada, yada. Fiat doesn't want to sign with us because they want to sponsor Minardi. We've signed with MasterCard. And people don't like Alan Prost anymore for some reason. We made $500,000 of profit. Our drivers are not pissed yet, surprisingly, which is cool. Again, this is still going way better than I expected, so I can't complain at all. We still have loads of spares. Did I forget to repair my cars after testing? Did I forget that? I might have. Alright. Our final chance to get a 2-star active suspension in 1998. It's been approved! Yes! Finally! We suspension 2 now, everybody. Do the testing. I will gladly do the testing. I will gladly pay for it as my pocket weeps. I love that game 20 years ago. Oh, man. I mean, it's still pretty great, to be honest. Like, considering that this game is over 20 years old, it still does a lot of things better than modern, like, simulation games, especially when it comes to, like, the atmosphere, the way it's structured, the user interface, the way it replicates Formula 1 regulations, driver changes, the way you interact with sponsors, like, all that, I feel like, is better in Grand Prix World than it is in, for example, Motorsport Manager, but that's just me, you know? Speaking of sponsorship, we're getting really close now to the Peugeot engine deal, which is cool. Only one more race to go, I suppose. We can also now sign with the beer company. Don't do drugs, kids. Also, smoking is bad for you. Also, I don't like alcohol. Anything else I forgot? Telecom Italia, we might give them a bit more attention now. We could try with Hugo Boss of all things. Let's try for Boss. Boss. Fragrances and stuff. Confirm orders. Yes. Let's go. Let's try the range setup once again. There's a low number of non-F1 drivers. That might just be a problem that they didn't have more space. Maybe, I don't know, or weren't in a position where they could license more people. But I think it's alright. What annoys me more than the number of people is the, like, fact that it can get dated rather quickly. So if you play with this safe for like 10 seasons, you wouldn't get people like Alonso or Raikkonen or, you know, you wouldn't get that generation of drivers, because for them we would have started the save at a point that would have been too early. So I actually thought that maybe we could rename some of the non-F1 drivers for future streams to actually avoid that problem, but that's something I'll have to figure out eventually. There we go. New engines, new active suspensions. Or, wait, is that our... No, that's not our engine. Fuck that. We don't need that shit. We have our own Ford engines. Ha ha ha. Let's go to France. Insert bad jokes about France, because, I don't know. Jokes about nations are super duper not interesting and boring and not really cool, I think. Also, P9 and P10. Who would have guessed? Villeneuve on pole, ahead of Irvine, Hill, Alesi, Hakkinen, Berger, Katayama, Barrichello. Heidfeld, Lorini, Coulthard behind us. Anything noteworthy? Not really. Stewart's just really bad. Overcast, that's disappointing. Not gonna rain, supposedly. But we're still in the points! Meanwhile, in Grand Prix Manager 2 has a bigger number of drivers split in expert and rookie. Yeah. I need to play Grand Prix Manager 2 at some point. I've never really played that. I should actually play that at some point, I think. Berger wins, finally, ahead of Alesi, Irvine, Barrichello, Katayama, and our boy, the Ralph. Also, quite the photo finish between Alesi and Irvine. This game loves its photo finishes, let me tell you. Dinnis retired because he binned it, supposedly. Villeneuve retired because he binned it. Montoya's engine exploded. Hakkinen's engine exploded. Coulthard's hydraulics gave up. And we've scored another point, which is cool. Happy with that. Can't complain. Berger wins. Also can't complain. So he's getting a little bit closer to Jacques Villeneuve in the championship. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Championship fight between Berger and Villeneuve. I wouldn't say no to that. Race 9, the British Grand Prix. Mild 7 has re-signed with Benetton. Ralf Schumacher scooped up a point, which is cool. Boss has pulled out of a deal with us to sign with Tyrrell, because of course. Agreed to join. Sponsorship news. Yada, yada, yada. And people apparently hate Eddie Jordan now. Also, we made quite the profit. What do we do with all that money? I mean, I know what we're going to do at the end of the season, but still, that's quite funny to me. I'm not used to this much money in Grand Prix World. I'm not. I'm really not. First of all, spares. Spare ribs. Done. But yeah, I think I should play Grand Prix Manager 2 at some point, shouldn't I? Like, I think that could be interesting. Because also there are a few more, there are more mods out there for Grand Prix Manager 2, which are also part of the same forum. So I might actually play that in the future on stream as well. Who knows? Let's do the usual testing with the usual results. Let's repair our cars. Done. And repair the damage. Done and dusted. Sponsorship. Yes, thank you. We Peugeot now, everybody. Next year, we're going to have a works deal with Peugeot, which is going to be another one-season deal, because this game is weird sometimes. Meanwhile, in the rest of the weird and bizarre world of capitalism, we are negotiating with nobody at the moment, I suppose. We're still negotiating with these guys who are still not interested in signing with us for some reason. Who might we sign now? We could sign these people that I don't know. That logo looks awful. That logo looks terrible. So does this one. So why are these logos all so ugly? We might try Sonax now. Fuck it. Save the game and have a look at our finances for 1999, which are actually better than our finances for 1998, which is pretty neat. Again, I can't complain. Can't complain about that at all. Though it would be nice to have like a full sponsorship roster. I don't think we're gonna achieve that, but that's not too shabby, is it? First of all, before we do anything else, full rain set up for Silverstone, because of course. Just remember the real life race where it bucketed it down. Wait. Hello, Bence. Good to see you. As you may know, I'm still a bit miffed about yesterday's R-Factor race, which I participated in, and retired after one lap. Because somebody somewhat punted me into the hairpin at Montreal. I've mostly been racing either R-Factor or F1 Challenge online over the past few weeks, which is bizarre. Yeah, that's mostly been my like sim racing online experience for the past few months. Just R-Factor and F1 Challenge. And you have a tire upgrade. Do I? I have a tire upgrade? Okay. Ah, I do. And it's actually quite the upgrade. Thanks for telling me. Once again, I am dip shit. Snoz would be proud. Also, let's do a bit of more. Let's do some engine development, shall we? Improvement, 4 bars, yes. Full power and fuel, heat, rigidity, weight, reliability. You can never go wrong with reliability, I think. Once again, thanks for notifying me. Confirm setup, yes. 4, yes. So you're gonna try the new hards, you're gonna try the new softs. Wait, it's only one, wait. Resilience. So Ralphie Bar, you're also gonna do softs now, because they're better than your hards. In every department, almost. And we're gonna see what happens. So it's time for the British Grand Prix. With Murray Walker and Martin Brundle. Sadly not. Oh! Let's go, everybody. Heavy rain expected. Yes. P2 and P4. I am a happy man. Alazy's on pole position ahead of The Ralph, Edmund, Irvine, Pedro Diniz, Hilberger, Villeneuve, Barrichello, Hakkinen, Fisichella, Coulthard, Panis. Panis on P12 with the Stewart. Jesus. That's a great performance. Also, Van der Ende once again failed to qualify. And yeah, I am happy about this. I just hope that it's going to rain in the race. Can it just rain in the race, please? Please, that would be cool. Please. Please. That would be great, you know. Just stretching a bit. I might actually end the stream after this or the next race. Because then we'd be like proper halfway through the season. And I think 2 hours roundabout are a good length for a stream, in my opinion, you know? Again, thanks for everybody who's been joining in, who's been talking to me. It's light rain. I hope we can win this. Alright. Wait, do we have a... We do have a new intermediate tire. I should probably put that on as well, just in case. You know, since it's better in every regard. Alright. Fingers crossed, everybody. Let's go. Oh. Oh. We win the British Grand Prix! Ralph wins! Ralph wins! Ralf Schumacher, of all fucking people, wins the British Grand Prix almost a minute ahead of Damon Hill, Jean Alesi in third, Diniz with his best career performance ever in P4, Berger ahead of Villeneuve in P6, Häkkinen fails to score points. What an incredible result! That's what I want to see. This is what we talk about. Yes! There we go. There we go. That's great. Ralf Schumacher wins Ferraros. Oh dear. Almost a minute ahead. Incredible race from Arrows. Absolutely. Like, this was like this is the coming of age of Ralf Schumacher right here. You know, this is his, like, this is his fucking race, you know? I'm smiling. I'm smiling. So, Villeneuve is still first in the championship. Ralf is now 7th. Exactly 16 points, the same points total as Mika Häkkinen. Diniz has 5 points, and that means we have 21 points and are quote-unquote only 7 points behind Benetton. Ah, that's great. First race victory, everybody! Nice! Ralf Schumacher is delighted to have won his first ever Grand Prix. I am as well. I am as well. Congratulations for the win and for have 2 Rainmaster drivers. Yeah, that's great. Also, we signed the landmarks deal with Peugeot, and McLaren once again has signed the works deal with Ferrari. This is the bestest of universes. Also, Prost has signed a works deal with Mercedes because okay, that's interesting. Might be due to the Nick Heidfeld connections actually in universe. Having fun, but I can hear you even my headset. Please, not this loud. Sorry. For those of you who don't know, that's my sister complaining that I'm too loud because Ralph wins. I'm sorry. That's the issue when you have noise-canceling headphones. I should get money for mentioning that. So Sonax doesn't want to sponsor us. Love you too, sis. Sponsorship, blah 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 blah. Speaking of promoting people, my sister also does streams on Twitch if anybody's interested, with the same name that you see in chat. So just so you know, if you're ever interested in that. I mean, I think she does it in German, but just so you know. That's me trying to rectify that I'm an annoying little shit. But yeah, we made a profit of $500,000. Ralph is really happy at the moment. And yeah, I think that's it for the stream, everybody. Like, I don't want to keep on annoying my sister with this. We have a brilliant finish, having won our first race. Let me just check. All right, we can finish this. Let me take care of this real quick. CFD 100%. Yes. We moving forward, everybody. Moving forward in the world of Formula 1. Deal already signed. Yeah, yada, 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 yada. Might go for success advantage. All right. So, yeah. This is it for tonight. I'm really happy with this stream. Despite the fact that I feel like I still somewhat underperformed in the way I communicate with chat and the way I present the game, but, you know, that's just me and my somewhat high standards, I suppose. I hope you all had a good time. Again, feedback is welcome. If you have any, recommendations or any feedback, just let me know. Thank you all for being here. I hope you had a good time, and I'll catch you next Friday. I think Friday is a good time for this. So yeah, see you next week. Bye bye.